Well, I'd like to thank Coach Brian Brown for joining me here for a few minutes. We preview the Strasburg Bennett football game, definite rivalry game for both teams, the Battle of the Bridge. So, Coach Brown, first of all, though, tough early schedule, ended up 2-1 going into the bye week. And let's talk about a bye week because I really didn't dawn on me, and you mentioned this earlier. You basically been going 3 months straight as you started early July. Was this a really good time to take this break?
Well, absolutely. We need to really gather ourselves. This is a good chance to get, to kind of find out where we were. The Lyman game was, I don't think it was a shock to anybody. We did not play very well. And it was kind of disappointing in that game because I really felt we took a step backwards. Football is a pretty easy sport. You align, proper alignment, you have your assignment and you do your finish. And I think in that game, we were exposed pretty badly, that we just weren't doing those things very well. And I think we had to take a real long look at who we were and, where we need to go as a football team. So this bye week kind of gave us that chance to take a look at ourselves. And as a coaching staff, we really emphasized certain things. The 101 of football, blocking and tackling, we weren't doing either one of them very well. So this bye week it came at a great time for us to really kind of focus on some basics of football again and try to get some chemistry. I think the chemistry of our team is kind of lacking right now, and I think a lot of that's due to confidence. I don't think we were real confident and not necessarily what we were teaching, but how we were teaching it as a coaching staff, and I think that kind of carried over to the players. So I hope this bye week fixed some of that.
Well, you had this 2-week time frame, and of course you're getting ready for the next game. You always concentrate on the next game. But do you generally over the years, do you use this bye week sort of as an overall prep as you get into the late season?
Absolutely. You can't, if you try to focus on just the next game, 2 weeks in advance, you kind of lose, you lose a little bit of your intensity. So, that bye week, we practiced only 3 days during that week because of a JV game. And then I gave the boys a weekend off. And like I said, we didn't really even talk about Bennett during that bye week. We focused solely on, we have got to do the little things much, much better because we did not play well against Lyman.
So as you get ready for Bennett and new coaching staff for the Tigers, what do we expect to see from them tonight?
I think if you were just a bystander that really had no idea that they had a new coaching staff, you wouldn't see much different. This new coach, I don't know much about him, but I do know that he runs a double tight, double wing formation. So a lot of what those boys did in the past with Coach Jacoby, they're doing the same thing with Coach Koenig. So you really don't see much, but there is some things that are very much different. And what I've noticed is Bennett's a very good football team. Just watching film, they have really bought into the system that their new coach brought in. Even though it's very similar to what they did, they appear they do it just a little bit better. And so this is a really good football team we're getting ready to play tonight.
And, of course, it's a rivalry game, and you've always taken the approach, it's always the next opponent. Every single week, you're always looking specifically at the next opponent. But how do you use a rivalry game specifically as you prep for games that you really want to get into come November?
Well, this week is a little bit different. Yes, it's a rivalry game. We're talking about two schools that are very competitive. Not just the football teams, but the schools in general, the community in general. A very good vibe between both, and very competitive. Neither one wants to lose to the other. So this is a little bit different week coming into it, and it's not a lot we have to do as coaches. I think the players understand that. The players know this is a huge football game because it is such a rivalry. But this game in particular is so important. It's very important for both teams. Us coming off of a loss, Bennett's on a winning streak. They're 3-0. They're number 9 in 2A football right now. I think they got a lot of confidence. But this game has so much more to it than just being the next game, just being a rivalry game. This has so much implication on RPI going forward. so much implications on momentum going into league. So this is probably the biggest football game we've played so far this year.
Well, Coach Brown, 7 p.m. at Bennett, Paul Reed Field. Best of luck.
Thank you, Kevin, and to all the fans. Like I said, this game is huge, and if you like Friday night football and you have any inclination to stay home tonight, please do not. We need fan support. We need that boost for our football team tonight.
And that reminds me, it's whiteout for Strasburg as we go to Bennett tonight. So thanks a lot, Coach Brown, and best of luck.
Thank you.